I'd like to talk about my search for my ancestors, which is, I feel, a little bit more interesting than my ancestors per se. Plus, nobody's really interested in them particularly but me. And if I had to qualify the experience I had in searching for my ancestors, I would say, and finding them, most of them with the exception of one, I qualify it as one of the most healing experiences that I've ever had in my entire life. My mother, Ibaye, which that's what we say after when we talk about the ancestors. My mother had a brother who was always this very strange, creepy character in my childhood. And I remember going with my mother to visit him. He was institutionalized at Pilgrim State on Long Island. And I remember going there as a child and waiting while she visited him. And he ended up being murdered when he was 52. And I didn't really know very much about it, what his diagnosis was, any of that. I had a vague feeling he was schizophrenic, but I didn't know for sure. And I spent 8 months getting his medical records. And I got these medical records, and I was totally shaken reading about how he was paranoid schizophrenic, reading about how this man had suffered from the time he was in his early 20s. And following that, he was homosexual. My grandmother had died, his mother. He lived with her on and off. And he brought some creep home, and the guy brutalized him and killed him. And it was in the death certificate. The description of the death was in the death certificate. And this was somebody that I wanted nothing to do with. I felt so sad. He didn't deserve to die and suffer like that. And I ended up finding his grave, and I ended up making Epo, and I ended up being able to help him be at peace, because what I learned was that I didn't have to like all of my ancestors. I didn't have to pray to them and ask all of them for help. But I could pray to those that I felt could help me, and pray for those that needed my